Most people assume confidence is judged after they speak, after people hear their ideas, after they demonstrate their competence. But social psychology shows something very different. In most social environments, people begin forming impressions about your confidence within seconds of seeing you, often before the conversation has even properly started, before you explain your thoughts, before you show your intelligence, which means something unusual is happening. People are not waiting for your ideas to judge you. They are reading something else first. Small behavioral signals? Signals that quietly answer one question in everyone else's mind. Does this person seem comfortable being here or not? Human beings are extremely good at forming quick social impressions. Psychologists call this thin slicing, the ability to form surprisingly strong conclusions about someone from very small pieces of behavior, sometimes within seconds. People rarely realize they are doing this. They don't consciously think, I'm analyzing this person's confidence. Instead, they simply experience a quick impression. This person seems confident, or I'm not sure about them. And once that first impression forms, something important happens. The brain begins interpreting everything else through that lens, which means two people can say the exact same sentence, but it will sound confident from one person and uncertain from another, simply because of the impression that already exists. And that first impression usually forms during moments that feel completely unimportant. Moments like when attention suddenly shifts toward you, when several people briefly look in your direction, when someone asks you a question unexpectedly. During those small moments, behavior becomes extremely revealing. Attention creates a small amount of social pressure. Even confident people feel it. But the difference is how people behave while it is happening. Some people appear comfortable being observed. Their posture stays steady. Their movements remain controlled. Others display small signals of discomfort, looking down quickly, adjusting their posture, smiling nervously, rushing their words. None of these behaviors mean someone lacks ability, but socially, they can signal uncertainty. And the human brain is extremely sensitive to uncertainty during first impressions, because uncertainty makes people harder to predict socially. So the brain tries to resolve the question quickly. Does this person seem comfortable under attention, or do they seem slightly unsettled? Another moment that strongly shapes perception is silence. For example, when someone asks you a question in a group, most people instinctively rush to answer immediately. They begin speaking before their thoughts are fully organized, because silence can feel uncomfortable when several people are watching. But interestingly, people who appear confident often behave differently. They pause, not nervously, not awkwardly, just calmly taking a moment to think, almost as if being observed while thinking is completely normal. And that small behavioral difference changes how observers interpret the situation. Instead of assuming uncertainty, they often assume composure. The behavior itself is tiny, just a short pause. But the emotional tone behind the pause changes the meaning completely. Another signal people read very quickly is behavioral speed. When someone feels uncertain, their behavior often becomes faster. Speaking quickly, explaining too much, trying to fill every small gap in conversation. It's an unconscious attempt to reduce tension. But people who appear confident often move slightly slower. Their speech is measured. Their movements are controlled. They appear comfortable, allowing small pauses in conversation. And this slower pace communicates something powerful socially: comfort. Comfort under attention is one of the strongest signals people interpret as confidence, which means confidence is often judged not through what someone says, but through how they behave while others are watching. Small behavioral signals that happen in real time. Another moment that shapes perception is interruption. Interruptions happen constantly in group conversations. Someone speaks over you. Someone challenges your idea. Someone redirects the discussion. These moments create small social tests. Observers pay close attention to what happens next. Some people immediately retreat. They stop speaking. They apologize. They withdraw from the conversation. Others respond differently. They simply continue their point calmly, not aggressively, not defensively, just continuing their thought as if interruptions are a normal part of discussion. And that behavior sends a subtle message that the person expects to be part of the conversation. And people often respond to that expectation. The interesting part is that none of these signals involve intelligence, or expertise, or preparation. They are behavioral signals. Signals about comfort. Comfort with attention, comfort with silence, comfort with being observed. And when someone appears comfortable under those conditions, people often interpret it as confidence, which means confidence perception is rarely about personality. It's about how natural someone appears while being watched, whether they behave as if attention is normal or as if they are trying to escape it. Most people assume confidence is something you prove slowly, through long conversations, through explaining your ideas, through demonstrating your ability. But often, the judgment begins much earlier than that, during small moments when attention briefly shifts toward you. Moments where people watch how someone reacts to being evaluated, how they handle silence, how they respond to pressure, how comfortable they appear while others are watching. And those few seconds quietly shape how everything that follows will be interpreted. Because socially, confidence is rarely judged by what someone claims. It is judged by how naturally they appear to belong where they are. If this made you think a little differently, feel free to like the video. And if you enjoy this kind of content, make sure to subscribe. See you in the next one.